Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Anthwood Movie Mania. And it is interview time because my special guest today is none other from Wes Craven's Hello Nightmare on Elm Street, as she played the famous hallway monitor. Plus, she also played Mrs. Loomis's stunt double in Scream 2 and many more. So I cannot wait to get into talking about everything. So I would like to welcome to the channel Leslie Hoffman.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to coming on the channel. Like I always say this to everyone, it means so much to me that like for a little YouTube channel like myself, that people like you find the your free time to come on and talk about your career. So again, I just want to say a big thank you.
I
Right.
I love talking to people about my career. I mean, it's so amazing. Well, before we started recording, we were talking about it. Is that back when I was doing Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream 2, it was considered a day's work or a couple days work, and I mean, now 50 or 40 years later, you know, who knew that these movies would just become fan favorites?
I know it's crazy. So my first question is, how is your morning going so far?
Well, it's just 9 o'clock here in the Northeast United States. So my day is just beginning. I really don't have a real answer yet.
That's okay. That's okay. Um, I know it's mid afternoon in the UK, so I've done a lot of things already. So, but this is the big thing of my day. Like talking to you today, this is the big thing for me today. So
Uh,
I just want to thank you again. Um, right, let's get into it. So you decided to take the career of doing like being a stunt woman. What made you choose that career path?
well, when I don't know, since the age 3 or 4 years old, I knew I always wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I mean, I never changed my mind. Going to school, they would ask, every year, to write an essay on what you wanna be when you grow up, and I always said actress. I'll get back to that in a second. But, other people, one year they want to be a fireman, the next year they want to be a doctor, the next year they want to, be a veterinarian, always wanted to be an actress. Um, I even went to acting schools, but it wasn't until uh, my older brother was in California and my family went out to visit him. We live in upstate New York, and we went out to California to visit him. And we went to the Universal Studio tour, and there was this Western stunt show, and this guy comes out and he's talking on the mic, and then all of a sudden they're fighting and falling and shooting guns and just everything, and it's like the light bulb went on, bing. It's like, I don't want to be an actress, I want to be a stunt woman. And again, I never changed the original thought of being in the entertainment industry. Just a slight career change from actress to stunt woman. But actually, well, Nightmare on Elm Street, I was an actress. I mean, even though I was hired as a stunt woman, I had lines.
I know that's amazing. Oh well, let's talk about Nightmare on Elm Street because I love the film. I have friends who love horror movies. They love, like, one of my friends, he has tattoos galore of Nightmare on Elm Street. He has the DVDs, the box sets,
Oh,
posters. Like, he's a big fan. So when I told him that I was talking to you,
really?
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I I was hired as a stunt woman. I wasn't hired as an actress, so I didn't have to audition for the role. The stunt coordinator is named Tony Caesar, and he called me up and he said, "Would you like to work on this movie?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd love to work." And so that's how I got the job on Nightmare on Elm Street. Um, the day of the job, I get to this abandoned high school, and I walk in, and there's this slime trail down the middle of the hallway, and I'm going, "What in the world is this?" Well, I found out later, but you walk in and you see this, you go, "Ugh." Anyways, well, the hairdresser took one look at me, and as you can see, I like long hair. And I mean, in other words, they didn't have a vision of what the hall monitor was going to look like. But she took one look at my hair, and that's how I ended up in those ponytails.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I
oh,
mean, it wasn't a
I
wig,
didn't know
it was
that.
that, "Wow, look at this hair, let's put it in ponytails." Uh, anyways, they actually filmed, Tina's scene first, Amanda's scene, in the body bag.
Mm.
Um, so I got to watch that. Well, just an insert here. The day I worked, only Amanda and Heather were working with me. Johnny Depp wasn't there, none of the other main cast was at the high school. Uh, anyways, so they get up to my stunt or my part in the movie, and being a stunt woman, you do not get a script. So I had no idea, what the movie was about or lines or, uh, I mean, usually, if you're an actor, you get a script and you might work on a character development or something like that. I mean, I walked in cold on this job. Uh, anyways, Wes comes up to me and he says, "Okay, I don't know if he said Nancy or Heather, this girl's going to come around the corner and bump into you, and you need to fall to the floor. And I want you to say, 'Where's your pass?'" And, and, uh, I guess it was the adrenaline of her knocking me to the floor that I just said, "Where's your pass?" And it looks great on film. Uh, then later, the second part of the scene, um, well, I was wearing the sweater at that time, so there wasn't a costume change. But so Wes comes up to me. I'm in the hallway. They put the glove on my right hand, and he comes up to me and he looks like he's about to cry. I mean, I've never seen a director. Wes is probably the nicest director I ever worked for in my whole career. Uh,
Yeah.
comes up to me and he says, "I got to tell you this. the line that that you're going to say, your voice is never going to make it to the film because the actor. See, that's what I mean. It isn't like Freddie or Robert England, The actor is going to dub in his voice, but I need you to say the line so he can,
Yeah.
uh, say it at the speed of my mouth moving. So, I need you to say, "Hey, Nancy, no running in the hallway. Wave the glove." And then I want you to do a sinister laugh at the end of it. And he walked away, but I swear this guy was about to cry. I mean, I feel like he thought he was taking, I don't know, part of my life, career, whatever, away from me, and I'm thinking, I'm a stunt woman. I've already done the stunt. I'm happy that I'm working. Anyways, we filmed the scene, and actually, Robert Englund was in New York City at that time. I mean, he
Oh,
was 3,000 miles away from the day where I was to, on the day I worked. It wasn't until later, and he was in New York City, that they found a studio and had sent the film there, and he dubbed in his voice in New York City.
oh
So
wow.
the scene was filmed in Los Angeles, but where Roberts says, "Hey, Nancy, no running in the hallway," like I say, was New York City.
Did when Nancy pushed you, how hard did she push you over? Did you take a bump on the floor?
Oops, I
Like, how hard did Nancy push you?
um Nancy Heather, I don't know if I remember if I discussed the stunt with her. Um, I mean, I'll call it was a medium push. I mean, she didn't really slam into me, and she didn't baby the running into me either. It was sort of in the middle.
Did you have fun playing with Heather, like acting beside her?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and like I said, well, I know I knew Tony Caesar from before A Nightmare on Elm Street. So, I was with a very dear friend, and then meeting Wes Craven for the first time. Again, it was so nice. That what a great director. He didn't, not you did it wrong, or or anything like that. He was grateful for anything or what I did that day. In fact, even on the other two movies I worked for him, he was so grateful and so uh you don't have directors coming up and saying thank you, or I really like this, or I mean, so Wes was just a dream come true.
When you put the sweater and the glove, did you know what Freddie looked like before you put it on, or didn't? Did you have no idea?
No idea. I had
No
a
idea.
one-day job on a low, low, low budget horror film. They basically had no money on the original A Nightmare on Elm Street. Um,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, I
That's
mean, it's amazing. I mean, I've been on higher budget films that I thought, "Oh, well, this is gonna be a great film," and all that kind of stuff, and it would go into the theater for about 2 weeks and then just disappear. Who knew that this movie would have so many sequels, so many fans. I mean, and then uh my scene is only about 19 seconds long, but
at all.
but if you see, or if a fan sees me and knows who I am, I mean, I sort of look the same that I did in 1984. I
Yeah.
mean, it's uh, "Where's your pass? Screw your pass. Hey, Nancy, no running in the hallway." I mean, these lines have become iconic.
It's true. That's true. Um, Last year celebrated 40 years of Nightmare on Elm Street. Looking back, did you realise how iconic this film would be?
Well, I feel like I sorta answered that. No, I had no idea. I mean, I've worked on other films that I thought would last forever, or people would, you'd say the name and people would recognize the movie, and they have no idea. I'm talking about other jobs. But
Oh,
who knew that A Nightmare on Elm Street would have such a huge following?
um, last year you were invited at the Creepy Carnival Festival to reprise your role as the hall monitor. What was that like being asked?
Uh, Again, well, not only um, did I reprise the role, they made uh, a coffee book, or a coffee table size book, a huge book. Uh, and my interview is in that, and like I say, interviewed on the DVD, and I mean, again, it's like, who knew? When I was in the business, my dream was to work on a film that people would remember, and I thought that meant a film that won, like, an Academy Award, which I didn't work on. Unfortunately, I didn't work on any film that won an Academy Award, but again, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna cry over that. I mean, I'm thrilled about, being the hall guard, hall monitor on The Nightmare on Elm Street.
You were also in your hometown honoured on the Walk of Fame. That must mean a lot, like over all your accomplishments to be recognised.
Yes, I was also on the union. Well, there were 2 unions at that time. There was the Screen Actors Guild, and there was AFTRA, which is the American Federation of Radio and Television Artists. And Saranac Lake, which is where I'm from, honored me with a plaque, on their Walk of Fame. And, so if you if you walk down Main Street, here's this plaque that says Leslie Hoffman. I mean, so such a
Yeah.
great honor.
Well,
And
yeah.
the other thing, I'll say is, doing these conventions now has, allowed me to travel. I mean, uh, I've been to a bunch of places in the United States, but I've actually been to Northern Ireland, and, I'm heading back to Northern Ireland the end of October, And not only am I going to be appearing in Northern Ireland again, we're actually going to jump over to Scotland and be at a horror convention there. So,
Yeah.
so
Oh.
again, this job has allowed me, I'll call it world travel. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a job that keeps giving and giving. Like you said, you do a lot of sci-fi and horror conventions. It must mean a lot to you that people are wanting to get your picture, to get things signed all the time. Because obviously, like with the sci-fi, you've done Star Trek, another big thing, as well as A Nightmare on Elm Street and everything else. So it must mean a lot that people are still, after all these years, are wanting to talk to you and get your picture and autographs.
oh yeah, no, it's like a second career. When I retired out of stunts, I thought, well, that's the end of that. Now I'm gonna sit in a room and just keep growing older. And instead, like you say, I have a second career now. The traveling, the talking to fans. I'm on Instagram and I'll post pictures. Unfortunately, like you say, this was a low budget film. We didn't even have a still photographer on the set that day. I mean,
Oh,
so I have very few pictures, or the pictures that I have are basically screen captures from the
oh,
scene, uh, other than, at some horror conventions. Robert's been there and Heather's been there, Amanda's been there, so it's sort of been a reunion. It's a reunion of people that I didn't really get to meet the day I worked, but everyone's been so nice.
yeah. What's it been like meeting Robert England?
He is such a great guy. There are, like you say, I there what do I say? There are guests that I would call A-listers, and Robert is definitely an A-lister guest. And there are some A-lister guests that, let's say, the convention closes at 5, 8, whatever. Uh, some guests will just 8 o'clock, I'm done, and walk away. Robert will sit there at the table, and even if there's a line, he will stay there until he's autographed or taken or met every single fan. I mean, that's the kind of person he is.
Oh wow, well that's nice. Like that's nice to hear. Like I don't like people who are like once they're done, that's it, they're done. It's nice to know that he like takes care of his fans.
Oh, uh-oh.
um, oh,
That's Amaya.
oh, hello.
She just photobombed the interview. Don't you come back, or you can sit there. Here, there. He says,
um,
"You're ignoring me."
what what I
Well,
said was,
fun for you too, but I've
oh that
seen
yeah.
I've seen clips of where reporters are doing something and the animal comes comes into the interview.
Oh wow. Yeah, well, it makes What I was saying was, it's nice to know that Robert England takes care of his fans. That's what I said.
Yeah, he again. I'm not. I'm not sure if this is true or not. What I'm about to say, but I believe that some of the money that he makes, if not all the money, well, I'll say some of the money that he makes, he donates to charity besides.
Oh
I
wow.
mean, he just is a generous sweetheart.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice of him. Um, just switching over to Scream 2 for a minute. You played Mrs. Loomis's stunt double, which I only just found out about from you telling me. I didn't know that. Um, what was it like working with Neve Campbell?
Uh, I that was the third job that I worked for with Wes, and I think he was trying to kill me that day. Again, I was hired by Tony Caesar, and I get to this theater, and we get onto the stage, and I mean, I get hit in the head with a beer bottle. The lights come down and almost hit me. This kind of pillar thing, you know, they were making or they were doing a what do I call it? They were doing a play. So the stage was set up for the play. So like I say, this pillar falls and I have to get out of the way of that. And well, I already said the light fixture comes flying down and I gotta jump out of the way of that. And then I'm climbing up the styrofoam wall and the, the wall falls down, and actually there were so many styrofoam blocks that fell on top of me that I was pinned. I couldn't get out by myself. I had to wait till they removed the blocks, even though they were styrofoam. It was that many blocks that were on top of me. I mean, it wasn't heavy. It just was so much. I mean, and then, well, this is really funny. My agent said, uh, "You're Ghostface," and I'm going, "No, I'm thinking of the mask. I'm going, I'm not Ghostface." He goes, "Well, you were Mrs. Loomis, right?" "Yeah." "Well, she was the murderer in that movie, so you're Ghostface."
It's
So,
true.
anyways, actually, I did a poll on Facebook, and 100% of the fans say yes, you were Ghostface. So, without the mask, I was Ghostface.
There you go.
And then the other thing is that okay, so in Scream 2, here comes some. Don't you get on the stay away from the. Uh, I guess I like knives. I had the dog in Nightmare on Elm Street, and I had the knife in Scream 2.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Right. Lastly, if people want to get in touch with you and to find out where you're going, or if they want to check out your Instagram or Facebook, what do they look for? What do they have to search for?
Well, I actually have a website, which is I forget if it's Leslie Hoffman or Leslie hyphen Hoffman.com, or on Instagram as the Leslie Hoffman. So those are two ways that you can get in touch with me, and especially on my website, uh, lesliehoffman.com, uh, is online shop. Not only do I talk about my career, uh, you can shop online. So the people that uh, aren't near any of the conventions that I'm at, but would like a picture or whatever, um, uh, can do the shop. I just realized, and I don't see it right offhand. Oh well. Uh, I even have a little action figure of me as the hall guard.
That's it. That you have answered all my questions. I want to say thank you so much for coming on, talking to me, answering all my questions, finding out stuff I didn't know about Nightmare and Scream 2, because I love both of them films. I just want to say a big thank you again for coming on.
Oh, well, thank you for inviting me. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Oh, thank you so much. And that's it. That is the end of this video. I would like to thank Leslie Hoffman for coming on today, talking all things about Nightmare and Scream with me, and Wes Craven and Robert England. As always, I am Anthwood Movie Mania. Please leave your likes, your comments, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. See you
Okay.
later.
Bye.